A single bullet changes everything. In the chaos of a midnight betrayal, Junseo Kang, youngest boss of the most dangerous syndicate in Rivern, takes a shot meant to end him. He falls hard, rain mixing with blood, his wolf tattoo exposed like a wound of its own. His enemies laugh as they ride away, thinking they've broken him. But they didn't kill him. They did something worse. They left him alive but shattered. Now, locked away in his fortress, the man who ruled with iron strength can't even feel if he's still whole. Before we continue, can I ask you a question? Where in the world are you watching from? Comment below because we'd love to know how far these stories travel, and hit that subscribe button, click on the like button and share. Don't forget to turn on the notification button so you won't miss out on more intense stories like this. Stick with us to the end. I promise you won't want to miss what's coming. The loft was silent except for the low hum of the city far below. Junseo Kang sat on the edge of his bed, shirt open, staring down at the scar that ran jagged across his lower abdomen. 3 months. 3 whole months and still nothing. No sensation, no warmth, no proof that the part of him that made him feel like a man still existed. His fingers traced the raised skin, pressing harder, desperate for even a flicker of response. Nothing. The wolf tattoo that snarled across his chest seemed to mock him now, its fierce eyes judging the leader who could no longer lead himself. He stood up abruptly, pacing the wide, dimly lit space like a caged animal. His men guarded the doors downstairs, loyal as ever, but none of them dared come up here anymore. They saw the coldness in his gaze, the way his temper snapped like a wire pulled too tight. Junseo had built an empire on fear and respect, running high-stakes deliveries through Riverton shadows, drugs, money, secrets, anything that paid and kept a syndicate on top. At 28, he was the youngest to ever hold the throne. Untouchable. Until that night. A knock echoed through the loft. Sharp, uninvited. Junseo froze, his hand instinctively reaching for the gun on the nightstand. No one entered without permission. "Who is it?" he barked, voice low and dangerous. The door opened anyway. In walked a woman he had never seen before. Tall, curvaceous, skin a rich deep brown that glowed even under the low lights. Her locks were pulled back neatly, and her white coat marked her as a doctor, but the way she carried herself, chin high, eyes direct, was anything but submissive. Dr. Zara Ellison. She closed the door behind her, ignoring the 2 armed guards who trailed in confusion. "I said, who the hell are you?" Junseo repeated, stepping forward, his angular jaw tight, dark eyes blazing. "I'm the doctor who's going to fix you," Zara replied calmly, her full lips curving into a slight smile that held no fear. "And, before you throw me out, hear me out. Every specialist you've seen has treated the wound. None of them treated the man." Junseo laughed coldly, but it didn't reach his eyes. "You think you can just walk into my home and talk like that? Get out." Zara didn't move. She set her bag down on the table with deliberate slowness. "I know what the bullet did, Junseo. Severed pudendal nerve, damaged cavernosal tissue. No sensation for 3 months. You're not just in pain. You're terrified you'll never feel again. And that fear is what's really keeping you broken." His face darkened, the scar on his cheekbone pulling tight. "You don't know anything about me." "I know enough," she said softly, stepping closer. "I know what it's like to be judged for your body, to be told you're too much or not enough because of how you look. People see my curves, my skin, and they assume things. Just like they see your power and assume you don't feel fear. But fear doesn't care who you are." Junseo stared at her, chest rising and falling fast. No one had ever spoken to him like this. Not since the ambush. "Why are you here?" "Because someone who cares about you asked me to come," she said. "And because I don't believe anyone is beyond healing, if they're brave enough to try." He wanted to rage, to throw her out, but something in her steady gaze held him. After a long silence, he nodded once. "1 session. Then you leave." Zara smiled gently. "Deal." The first session was tense. Junseo sat rigidly on the exam table he'd brought in, shirt off, while Zara connected the neural stimulator pads carefully around the scar. Her touch was professional, but warm, her fingers brushing his skin without hesitation. He flinched anyway. "Relax," she murmured. "This device maps nerve pathways. It'll tell us what's waking up and what's still asleep." She turned it on. A low current pulsed. The screen showed faint spikes, barely anything. Junseo's jaw clenched.
"See?
Nothing." Zara shook her head. "There's something. Tiny but there. Your body is trying. But it won't fully respond until your mind lets it." "What does that even mean?" he snapped. "It means the shame is louder than the healing," she said bluntly. "You're punishing yourself for surviving. For being vulnerable." Junseo looked away, eyes stormy. "You think you understand my life? The things I've done? The things done to me?" "I don't know all of it," Zara admitted, her voice softening. "But I know trauma. I've carried my own. Being told I'm too curvy, too black, too outspoken to be taken seriously in medicine. Patients who only saw my body, colleagues who undermined me because I didn't fit their idea of a doctor. I learned that healing starts when you stop letting other people's judgments define your worth." He met her eyes then, really looked at her for the first time. There was pain there, mirrored and real. "And how do you do that?" "One truth at a time," she said. "Starting with admitting you're hurting." The days blurred into weeks. Zara came every day, pushing past his guards, pushing past his walls. Sessions grew longer. The stimulator showed slow progress, faint tingles, fleeting warmth. But the real shifts happened in the conversations. One afternoon, rain drumming against the windows, Junseo finally opened up. "I was engaged once," he said quietly, lying back as Zara adjusted the pads. "Her name was Hyojin. She left when life got too dangerous. Said she couldn't watch me die. After that, I shut it all off. No weakness. No attachments. Then the ambush happened, and it felt like proof. She was right to leave. I'm not built for anything soft." Zara paused, her hand resting lightly on his arm. "That's not a weakness, Junseo. That's love. And love doesn't make you less. It makes you human." He turned his head, eyes searching hers. "And you? Who hurt you enough to make you this strong?" She hesitated, then sat beside him. "My career almost ended because I stood up for a patient. A woman being abused by someone powerful. I reported it and protected her. They fired me anyway, painted me as trouble. Said I was exploiting connections. It cost me everything I'd worked for. But I'd do it again." Junseo's voice was low. "You're braver than most men I know." Their eyes locked, the air thickening. Zara's hand lingered on his skin longer than necessary. A spark jumped, not from the machine, but from something deeper. As weeks turned into a month, the changes were undeniable. The stimulator readings climbed. Sensation returned in waves, first numbness giving way to pins and needles, then real feeling. Junseo began to hope, something he hadn't allowed himself in years. One evening, the sessions stretched late. The city lights glittered below like scattered diamonds. Zara leaned over him, adjusting a pad low on his abdomen. Her locks brushed his chest. Junseo's breath caught as a rush of warmth flooded through him, stronger than ever. "Did you feel that?" she whispered, eyes wide. He nodded, voice rough. "Yeah, I felt it." The space between them vanished. Junseo sat up slowly, his hand rising to cup her face. Zara didn't pull away. Their lips met, tentative at first, then hungry, months of tension exploding. He pulled her onto the table with him, her curves pressing against his lean frame as hands roamed. Shirts fell away.
Skin met skin.
For the first time since the bullet, Junseo felt alive. Every touch electric, every gasp proof that his body was remembering how to want, how to need. Zara's fingers traced the wolf tattoo as she kissed his neck. "You're not broken," she breathed against him. "You're healing." He buried his face in her locks, holding her tight, emotion cracking his voice. "Don't stop." They moved together, slow and intense, opposites finding perfect rhythm, his sharp intensity against her soft strength, dark and light intertwining. Pleasure built like a storm, and when it crested, Junseo cried out, not just from sensation, but from the overwhelming relief that he was still whole, still capable of this connection. Afterward, they lay tangled, breathing hard. Junseo held her close, tears he didn't bother hiding, wetting her shoulder. I was so scared I'd never feel this again, he confessed. Not just the physical, but someone seeing me. All of me. Zara stroked his hair. I see you, Junseo. And you're more than your power. You're worth healing for. He kissed her forehead. Maybe perfect is just two broken people choosing each other. She smiled against his chest. Maybe it is. Guys, if you're feeling every second of this intensity right now, the pain, the hope, the fire, imagine missing the moment everything falls apart next. Don't do that to yourself. Hit subscribe right now so you never miss what's coming. Because if you leave now, you'll always wonder how a love this deep survives betrayal. Stay with us. You deserve to see this through. The next morning, light filtered through the blinds as Junseo woke with Zara still in his arms. For the first time in months, he felt peace. But peace in his world never lasted. His phone buzzed harshly on the table. Hyunwoo Choi's name flashed. Junseo answered, voice relaxed. Yeah. Boss, we need to talk.
Now.
It's about the doctor. Junseo's body tensed. What about her? I dug deeper like you asked after she started coming around.
She's got a past.
Fired from her last hospital. Accusations of misconduct, getting too close to powerful patients, trading favors for information. She's dangerous, Junseo. She could be playing you. The words hit like ice water. Junseo sat up slowly, careful not to wake Zara. His eyes hardened as old fears rushed back. Send me everything. By the time Zara stirred, stretching with a soft smile, Junseo's face was stone. He stood dressed, arms crossed. We need to talk, he said coldly. Zara's smile faded. What's wrong? I know about your past, he said, voice flat. The firing. The accusations. Using men like me to get what you want. Her eyes widened in hurt. Junseo. Is that what this is? He cut in, pain lacing his anger. You saw a broken syndicate boss and thought you could get something out of it? Information? Leverage? No, she said firmly, sitting up, pulling the sheet around her. That's not what happened. Yes, I was fired, but not for betrayal. I protected a patient, an abused woman, from a man with power. He twisted the story, and they believed him because it was easier. I lost everything, but I'd do it again. Junseo shook his head, walls slamming up. I can't trust you. Not after last night. Not after I let you in. Tears glistened in Zara's eyes, but she held his gaze. I never lied about how I feel. Last night was real. Get dressed and leave, he said quietly. Don't come back. Zara stood slowly, dignity intact even as her heart broke. She dressed in silence, then paused at the door. You're pushing away the one person who sees your strength even when you can't. Don't let fear win, Junseo. Then she was gone. Junseo sank onto the bed, head in hands. The wolf tattoo stared back from the mirror, fierce again, but hollow. If you're feeling that ache right now, the way trust can shatter in a single moment, then you know you can't stop here. This story is about to turn even darker before it finds light. Please, don't make me tell this next part without you. Subscribe, turn on notifications, like, and share so we can keep bringing these raw, emotional rides together. You won't forgive yourself if you miss the reconciliation that's coming. Hours later, Junseo sat alone, staring at the stimulator Zara had left behind. Sensation was still there, stronger because of her, but it felt empty now. His phone rang again. Sujin's name glowed on the screen. His younger sister, the only family he truly trusted. Appa, she said softly when he answered. I heard what happened. With Dr. Ellison. How? He asked tiredly. Hyunwoo told me. But he only told you half the story. Sujin's voice was gentle but firm. I looked into it myself. Zara was fired for protecting a patient, a woman being abused by a high-ranking official. She refused to stay silent, even when it cost her career. She didn't exploit anyone. She fought for someone who couldn't fight back. Junseo's grip tightened on the phone. She's the kind of strong you used to be, Sujin continued. The kind who chooses right over easy. Don't let fear make you push away the one person who can help you heal completely. Silence stretched. Finally, Junseo whispered, I messed up. Then fix it, Sujin said. Before it's too late. He hung up, heart pounding. Rain started falling again outside, just like the night he was shot. The story is just heating up and reconciliation is on the horizon, but it's going to hurt so good before it heals. Stay locked in for what happens next, where everything comes crashing together. Drop your country in the comments, like, share, and subscribe if this has you hooked, because the best part is yet to come. Junseo stood at the window, rain streaking down the glass like tears the city itself was shedding. Sujin's words echoed in his head. Asterisk, she's the kind of strong you used to be. Asterisk, he hated how right she was. He had spent years building walls so high no one could reach him, and in one night of weakness, one night of finally feeling again, he had torn them down for Zara, only to rebuild them higher when fear whispered in his ear. He picked up the neural stimulator she'd left behind, turning it over in his hands. The screen still held the last reading, the strongest yet, the one that had happened right before their bodies found each other. Proof that her touch, her belief, had woken something inside him that medicine alone never could. His phone lay on the table. He stared at it for a long minute, thumb hovering. Then he dialed. Zara answered on the third ring, her voice quiet, guarded. Junseo. I was wrong, he said without greeting. No pride, no deflection. Just the truth. I let fear speak louder than you. I'm sorry. Silence stretched between them. He could hear her breathing, could picture her full lips pressed together the way they did when she was holding back emotion. I don't need an apology, she finally said. I need you to trust me. Really trust me. Not just when it feels good. I know. His voice cracked. I'm terrified, Zara. Terrified of needing someone this much. The last time I let someone in, she left. And after the ambush, I thought I was done. Done with soft things. Done with hope. Then you walked in here like you owned the place, looked at all my broken pieces, and didn't run. He heard a soft exhale, almost a laugh. I've never run from hard things, Junseo. But I won't stay where I'm not wanted. You are wanted, he said fiercely. More than I've wanted anything in years.
Come back.
Please. Another pause. Then, I'll be there in 20 minutes. The rain was still falling when her knock came. Junseo opened the door himself. No guards this time. Zara stood there, locks damp from the downpour, coat clinging to her curves, eyes searching his face. She looked tired, but strong, always so strong. He stepped aside. She walked in slowly, setting her bag down like before, but this time her gaze never left his. Talk to me, she said. All of it.
The fear. The shame.
Don't hide anymore. Junseo closed the door, leaning against it. The words came halting at first, then poured out. That night when the bullet hit, it wasn't just the pain. It was the humiliation. Lying there in the mud, bleeding, unable to move properly while they laughed. They didn't just try to kill me, they tried to strip everything that made me a man.
Power. Control.
Desire. And they succeeded. For 3 months, I've been living half dead, pretending I'm still the same Junseo Kang who could make a room freeze with one look. But inside, I've been ashamed. So ashamed I couldn't even say it out loud. Zara stepped closer, her warm brown eyes soft but unflinching. Ashamed of surviving? Ashamed of being weak, he whispered. Of needing help. Of not feeling anything down there. Of wondering if any woman would ever want me again like this. And then you came, and you saw it all. You touched the scar, you looked at me like I was still whole, and I panicked. Because if I let myself believe you, and you left, it would destroy me worse than any bullet. Zara reached up, cupping his angular jaw, thumb brushing the faint scar on his cheekbone. I'm not leaving because you're healing. I'm here because you're worth it. Scars, fear, empire, all of it. But you have to let me in for real. No more shutting down when it gets scary. He turned his face into her palm, eyes closing. I'm trying. I don't know how to do this. We'll learn together, she said softly. One truth at a time. Remember? Junseo opened his eyes, searching hers.
Stay tonight.
Not for treatment. Just stay. Zara's lips curved into that knowing smile he loved. I thought you'd never ask. They moved to the bedroom slowly. No rush this time. Clothes fell away piece by piece, hands reverent rather than desperate. When Junseo hesitated at the edge of the bed, Zara took his hands and placed them on her waist, guiding him. Feel me, she whispered. Feel us. Sensation flooded him, stronger now, deeper. Every curve under his fingers, every soft gasp she made when he kissed her neck, her collarbone, the swell of her breasts. He mapped her body like sacred ground, learning her as she had learned him. When she pulled him down onto the sheets, straddling him, her locks falling around them like a curtain, Junseo let go completely. They moved together, slow and deliberate at first, then building, bodies finding rhythm like they'd known each other for years. Zara's hands braced on his chest, right over the wolf tattoo, as if claiming it, claiming him. Pleasure coiled tight, then shattered through him in waves stronger than the first time. He cried out her name, holding her close as she followed, trembling in his arms. After, they lay tangled, her head on his shoulder, fingers tracing lazy patterns on his skin. I can feel everything now, he murmured against her hair. Because of you. Zara lifted her head, eyes shining.
No.
Because you finally let yourself. He smiled, small, real, unguarded. You walked into a room full of killers like you owned it. And you let me stay, she finished. That's the real power, Junseo. Choosing to be seen. Downstairs, the guards shifted, unaware their boss was changing right above them. Outside, the rain slowed to a drizzle, city lights reflecting in puddles like scattered hope. Days turned into weeks again, but different now. Zara still came for sessions, but they were lighter, maintenance, celebration of progress rather than desperate fight. Sensation was nearly full, nerve regeneration confirmed beyond what any previous doctor had predicted. But more than the physical, Junseo was healing inside. He opened up more about the syndicate's brutal beginnings, about losing his parents young and raising Soojin alone, about the weight of every life he'd taken or ordered taken. Zara listened without judgment, sharing her own shadows in return. The racism she'd faced in medical school, the loneliness of being too much for so many, the fear that no one would ever see past her body to her heart. One night, as they lay watching the city skyline, Junseo spoke quietly. I've been thinking about stepping back. Not quitting, just delegating more. Hyunwoo can handle most runs.
I want something outside of this life.
Something that's just us. Zara turned to him, eyes wide. You do that? For real? For me, he corrected gently.
And for us.
I'm tired of ruling from fear. I want to build something from strength, the kind you taught me. She kissed him slow and deep, emotion thick between them. I'm proud of you. Hyunwoo noticed the change first. Boss, you're different, he said one afternoon, narrow eyes studying Junseo carefully. Junseo leaned back in his chair, no tension in his shoulders. I'm better. Hyunwoo hesitated. Because of the doctor? Because I stopped lying to myself, Junseo said. You were trying to protect me. I get it. But she's not the enemy. She's the best thing that's ever happened to me. Hyunwoo nodded slowly, respect in his serious expression. Then I was wrong. I'll stand down. Soojin met Zara properly a week later, over quiet dinner in the loft. Soojin's gentle eyes lit up as she hugged Zara tight. Thank you, she whispered, for giving me my brother back. Zara hugged back, voice thick. He gave himself back. I just believed in him. Months passed. The syndicate still ran, but Junseo's hands were cleaner now. He and Zara built a life in the spaces between, late nights talking dreams, mornings waking tangled, afternoons where she taught him about courage outside of violence, and he showed her how fierce loyalty could be when aimed at love instead of war. One evening, as sunset painted the loft gold, Junseo pulled Zara close on the balcony. The wolf tattoo caught the light, no longer mocking, now a reminder of survival, of rebirth. "I used to think strength was never breaking," he said against her temple. "But you showed me it's breaking and choosing to heal anyway." Zara smiled up at him, full lips soft, eyes warm. "And you showed me that even the hardest hearts can choose softness when they find the right person to trust it with." He kissed her then, slow and certain, the city humming below them like it approved. Two broken people, opposites in every way, sharp edges and soft curves, shadows and light, had chosen each other. And in that choice, they found something stronger than any empire. Real, messy, beautiful wholeness. If this story touched your heart, the pain, the passion, the redemption, then don't let it end here. Hit that subscribe button right now, turn on notifications, comment where you're watching from, and share this with someone who needs to feel seen tonight. Because if you don't, you might miss the next story that could change how you see love, strength, and healing forever. We pour everything into these for you. Stay with us. You deserve every second of this powerful story.